Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm so happy you're here with me. I hope you're doing well. If you're new, I'm Tanya with yanxa.creations, and on this channel I love to do my two favorite things, and that is craft and experiment. In today's video, I'm going to be using one of my experimental tools. So in the past, I have created a hack for converting SVGs into SS10 rhinestones right in Cricut Design Space. So that is what we're going to be doing. Hey, we're heading up to Easter, and I just felt like I wanted a blinging rhinestone bunny t-shirt. So I'm going to go ahead and use this design that I got from Creative Fabrica as my inspiration. So I'm going to take the parts of the bunny, the ears, the feet, the bow tie, and I'm going to convert that into a rhinestone template, and I'm going to remove the text and put my own text, and I'm going to set my text to be done in vinyl. So that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and jump over into Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to show you exactly how I did that. Now, if you're interested in these rhinestone grids, do remember this is available for you on my PayHip site. My 8x8 grid is free. The 12x12 grid is for a small cost, and you can do almost anything with the 8x8 grid, but depending on what you're doing, you may want a larger size. So let's hop on over to Cricut Design Space. So here we are in Cricut Design Space, and I have brought my 12x12 grid onto the canvas. So when you download the 8x8 or the 12x12 grid, you'll find that it comes over into two components. So you have the grid and you have a black box. That black box was the original box that I had used to make the grid. You don't need it. Go ahead, hide it or delete it. I have gone over to the right panel and I have hidden that black box. So the next thing that we want to do is that the 12x12 grid comes in a lot larger than it's supposed to be. But to make it the right size for SS10 rhinestones, we need to bring it down to 13x13. So that's what we're going to do. So that's what we're doing now. We're going to bring it down to 13x13. Once I've done that, let's go ahead and get our design onto the canvas. All right, so here is our design that we wanted to work with on the canvas. So as I said before, we are going to make some changes. So it's an SVG, so that's good. It means that we can get rid of parts of our design. So for the rhinestone template, we're going to be looking at the ears, we're going to be doing the bow tie, we're going to be doing the eggs, and we're going to be doing the feet. Any text that we want to add here, we won't do my first Easter. We're just going to say Happy Easter, but we're going to do all of that in vinyl. All right, so we can go over to the right panel and we will remove all of the text, and we're going to remove some parts of the design that's going to be a little bit difficult to do inside of the grid. All right, so we're talking about these extra embellishments here. We're just focusing on the ears, the bow tie, the eggs, and the feet for our rhinestone template. Let's go ahead and select our design, and we're going to come over here to the right panel where we have our text. I'm going to go ahead and hide Easter. All right, so let's come up here to where we have some more text, and we're going to hide that. Okay, let's go ahead and hide these bits and pieces here. And let's hide the hearts. Okay, so this is what I want to change. Now, what I want to do is to hide the outlines. So we can do our outline for the ears and for the feet in vinyl. We can do that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and hide it. It will be, if you think about it, it will be very hard to get these lines to work very nicely on this grid. We can do it, it's just that it's going to take a little bit more work to get it done. So for me, I would prefer to do that in vinyl and just have certain parts of it as rhinestones. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hide the outline for the feet. I'm going to hide the outline for the ears. Okay, so I'm going to hide this other ear. Okay, there we go. So Cricut Design Space was moving really, really slowly. Everything was just taking really long to happen. So I'm just doing a voiceover on this section. So right here, what I'm going to do is to ungroup everything. Then I'm going to go ahead and select the bunny ears, and I am going to group and weld those together. Then I'm going to go and take the eggs and I'm going to weld those pieces together, and the feet are going to be welded together and the bow tie will be on its own. And then I'm going to go ahead and slice each welded portion from the grid in order to make the design. So if you don't see it happening quite in a timely way on the panel, that's because everything was moving very, very, very slowly, and I can't make this video too long, so I'm just telling you exactly what I did. Okay, so we have our bow tie selected. So let's go ahead and select our grid, and we're going to come over to slice. Okay, so finally the slice has happened, and let's go ahead and grab our bow tie. So these are our circles. Remember, we can't adjust the size, and we can go ahead and delete the other pieces. So we're going to select our ears and our grid, and we're going to slice. Right, here's our next piece of the slice. Okay, so we just need to delete these. We don't need them. So now we're going to go ahead and cut out our eggs. Select our eggs. And let's select our grid. And let's go ahead and slice. Okay, our eggs are sliced. So let's go ahead and pull out our slice that we want to use. All right, so this is it. And we can go ahead and delete the pieces that we don't want. Let's delete it. And then we have the feet. So let's go ahead and select our feet on the panel. And we're going to weld them. This is going to be the easiest thing for us to do. I was planning to separate the green and the white, but Cricut Design Space is moving really, really slowly, and so I'm not going to bother to separate them. I'm just going to weld it together and cut out one set of feet. So I really, really wanted to separate the blue from the white, but as you can see, Cricut Design Space is moving super slow, and so I'm just going to go ahead and cut the feet. All right, so let me line this up somewhere where I don't lose too many circles. Okay, it can't be helped. So I'm just going to select that, and I'm going to select the feet, the grid, I mean, and slice. So our feet are done. So let's separate the pieces we want. Here are our bunny feet. And right now, as it is, we don't need the grid. We've taken out everything that we want. So let's go ahead and delete. All right, so that took a little bit of time. Bring our bunny feet across here and our eggs right here. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening. Everything is going so slowly today. All right, and let's bring our bow tie here and our bunny ears. Okay, so we have essentially the outline that we were going for, and we would add our text in here. But if you notice that inside of our pieces, we have partial holes. We just have pieces of holes. We need to get rid of those and put back the actual hole that our rhinestone is going to sit in. Now, what I like to do is to actually go ahead and select all my pieces, just get all of them, and then I'm going to duplicate it. All right. Uh-oh. All right, so let's take a set and put them over here. I accidentally let go of my grouping. Let's put it here. Now, why did I do this? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of all of these little holes. If you've never seen me do this before, that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to remove all the little holes, pieces of holes, and put back a full hole for a rhinestone to sit in. Now, the reason why I duplicated it is so that I can use this one over here as reference. All right. So when I get rid of the holes, I'll know exactly where the pieces of the holes, I'll know exactly where I needed to put back a full hole. So that's what this is for. So what we can do, we can select the ears, and then we can go over to the right corner to contour. What that allows us to do is to remove all the partial holes and put back full holes for our rhinestones to sit in. All right, here comes our holes. Depending on how many holes you have, it will take longer to populate. Okay, so it's populated. So there are two ways to get rid of these holes. As I've shown you in the other videos, I'm only going to show it to you in this clip. And then I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of all the partial holes from all the pieces. And then we'll come back and assemble. So all you need to do is to click either in here and it's grayed out. And so that hole will disappear. Or you can come onto the panel here and search for the partial holes and delete those. All right. But these are big enough for me to delete them from here. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And then we just click the X here and we can see all that mess is gone from there. All right. Now, the good thing is we have our reference right here. So we're going to put back the holes that are needed to make it complete. So to do that, I'm just going to come over to shapes, get a circle. Now for SS10 rhinestones, these circles are going to be 0.123 inches. So this is our circle. Let's bring it on over here, and we're going to hit duplicate. All right, we're going to do that several times. Sorry, Cricut Design Space is moving rather slow today. All right. So what we're going to do is take a look over here and see where we have circles missing, and we're just going to put it back. All right. I know it might seem a little bit like, oh my gosh, this is so much, but I promise you, if you do this in silhouette, you will have some ungrouping and some moving around of circles to do as well. So I don't find it to be too bad, especially if I am looking at this piece here to give me a sense of what needs to be put back in place. So we know that we need one right here. Let's line that up properly. All right, because we're following that we had a piece right here and we needed to put back a circle. All right, and from here, we can see that we need to put back a circle right here as well. All right, so we're just using this to help us. Let's take our time and shift it. And then what we're going to do is go ahead and just grab our ears. And we are going to weld all of these circles that we added so that it becomes one piece. There we go. We have one piece to represent the ears. Of course, we can change this to whatever color we like. So for me, for the bunny ears, I'd probably want it to be pink. So I'll just go ahead and change that to pink. And then we can go ahead and tackle this part. Okay, we can go and tackle our bow tie. I'm okay with the color of the bow tie, but we can come back over to contour. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing where we're just going to go ahead and eliminate the partial circles. Then we're going to look at our reference and put back the ones that we think needs to be there. So I'm just going to go ahead and pause this video and go and do all my replacements and come right on back. I don't want to bore you with putting in circles again. So once I'm done, we're going to go ahead and show you what this is going to look like when we put in our text. And let's see. I'll be right back. So I am back. I want to say before you weld the pieces, make sure that the shape of it is what you would want. Because looking at the bunny ears, I wish I had brought some of these down more as a curve, as opposed to trying to get some straight lines right here. So with the eggs and with the feet, I had to make sure, for example, right here, laying out my circles to make them sort of bend in a curve. And I wish I had taken more caution with that with the bunny ears. But you can lay your circles. You don't have to lay them directly on top of each other. You can lay them in between, like position one here, that is in between these two as opposed to a straight line, in order for it to bend and for it to look more natural. So for example, here where I placed these and I placed these blue ones, so it looked more like a curve as opposed to a straight line, and it would be a more natural flow. So I would have wanted to adjust the bunny ears a little bit more, but I've welded it already. So just take a look at it. Very just look at it very well before you weld it, because once you've moved on, it's hard to deal with it. So basically, we have the bunny ears. I changed them to pink. I thought that would be nice, so I changed my eggs to yellow, and you could have put different colors in here. So before you weld, select what colors you wanted as well, because you could have put in different colors for the ones that you replaced. What I've noticed in this process is once I have a piece that is white, like the feet, I am unable to change the colors. Anything that had an original color, I'm able to change it once I've done this, but the white, I have to keep it that way. But no worries, it's supposed to be a rhinestone template. So when you cut out the holes, you can put in any color you feel like in any one of these sections. So I've basically finished the entire rhinestone piece of it. So I'm just going to go back and put in my text, which I will be cutting in vinyl. So I'm just going to come over to the text box right here, the text box. And then I'm just going to go ahead and say happy. And I think I want a different text box and say Easter. So my Cricut design space is acting up again. It was moving so much faster when I was not recording. So that's why I opted to do this portion, to do the other sections. I did the exact same thing that I did with the other parts, but I opted to do it offline because um, it was just really slow while recording on the same device. All right, so it should not be so slow, and that's probably a computer issue for me as well. So, of course, I don't really like this font, so I'm going to go find something a little nicer. And one of the fonts that I absolutely love, which I think I'm going to use, is called Romantic Butterfly. So, let's go ahead and do that. Let's see if it works. Is this something that I'm gonna like in this? Okay, I do. So let's stretch that out a little bit more. Adjust the height of it. Okay, bad idea. Bad idea. Let's not do that. Okay, so let me bring my Easter in here and my happy. Let's make my text a little bit smaller. Okay, I have my Easter selected, so let's move that up. It really is slow while I'm recording. Okay, so let me go down so we can take a full look at it. And of course, you can make your text a little bit longer, a little bit. Oh, that's so far down. Um, a little bit longer, a little bit wider. It's all up to you. This is really just to show you that you can create a design right here in Cricut Design Space. So I have the bunny ears with the tie, the bunny feet, and the Easter eggs, and my happy Easter. So the only thing left for me to do now is to go ahead and cut this. Of course, when you go to make it, each one of these colors will appear on a different mat, but you can just transfer everything to the same mat because we don't care about colors when we're cutting the rhinestone template. All right, so and then we can put our text all onto one mat. All right. Okay, guys, that's it. So happy Easter and happy cutting. Let me know how this template works out for you if you decide to try it. But I'm going to go ahead and make my Easter shirt, my happy Easter bunny shirt, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.